that also plays into the systematic stuff that I was talking about, because a lot of women can't get jobs in construction.
Have you ever tried to be a concreter?
Yeah. No, but I totally would.
Okay, why aren't you?
Because I'm not educated on it.
Why don't you go and get educated on concreting?
I totally would. Like, as soon as I get things straightened out,
sure.
I want a different field. I'm tired of the medical field.
Let me tell you this, and you can disagree with me if you'd like. You wouldn't last 2 minutes as a concreter, because unfortunately...
I'd like to try to prove people wrong.
In the modern world, you can think that all you want, and that's because your life is so comfortable that you can have that strain of thought. But the fact of the matter is that I did concreting for a few months, and I didn't last. And I'm not a weak guy, but these guys are some of the hardest people you'll ever meet in your life. They are up at the crack of dawn every day, breaking their backs. You would not last a single day. You can sit here and say girl power all you'd like, you wouldn't last a day, I guarantee it.
You know what's funny? Okay, all these feminists who say they can do all these jobs, first of all, they never put their money where their mouth is, but they don't have the slightest clue as to what physical labour actually is. These jobs do require a lot of raw power, not delusional girl power, and she says she likes to prove people wrong. Well, then why haven't you done it? Why haven't you proven them wrong? Anyway, I've been saying this for a long time now. Let's get a TV show where we get all these feminists. They say, oh, I can do this, whether it's scaffolding, bricklaying, whatever it is, and we'll set it up and they can do it for a week and see how long they last.
Brittany, you feeling anything there?
I'm really picky. I need to be really bold.
Be bold, do it.
You are so attractive.
Yo, hands up! Whoa! He's the best looking guy I've ever seen. Jeff, are you interested in Brittany? Yes or no?
No. If you was born a year ago, how old would you be now?
Oh, yeah. Every year, I think it's a life progressing thing. So, the day before or the day after. I don't think so. In this time, that kind of things matter. So, I mean, how long you can jump? That was the real thing is realistic. I mean, if you want to be the day before, I mean, it don't make any kind of change. What you can do right now, that was the main thing is.
Huh? If you was born a year ago, how old would you be now?
I mean, maybe I run a bit more faster, a bit more I have traveled, a bit more I have done. I mean, the day before you come, the more you can do. If you try to do it, if you want to do it.
Anyway, let's read some comments. By the way, I tried to read these about 50 times and I kept laughing. I've just about composed myself. Someone said, how to confuse your enemies? 44,000 likes. So someone said he's finishing off other conversations. And someone else said he knows English, but he doesn't know what the words mean. Right, I don't know what he was talking about, honestly.
Feminism is a scam. A few years ago, I was an angry, blue-haired feminist. I once believed that male privilege was real and that I was a victim of the wage gap. Now that I understand the true motives of feminism, I know that this could not be further from the truth, and that modern-day feminism is a war on true masculinity. Before women had the right to vote, most were stay-at-home wives, which meant they weren't working jobs and couldn't be taxed. Our overlords didn't like that. Rockefeller started funding feminist campaigns in media, and as a consequence of the movement, women started entering the workforce and leaving the home. Children would then be separated from their parents and sent to Rockefeller-funded schools to be indoctrinated by the state. All of this ultimately disrupting the family unit at its core. Feminism is defined as the belief in social, economic, and political equality of the sexes. But in the West, I must ask, what rights do men have that women don't? Modern feminists are convincing women that hookup culture, using hormonal birth control, and not shaving is liberation. That toxic masculinity is prevalent and the patriarchy must be dismantled. Through movies and media, we're taught that working for the man, climbing the corporate ladder, and paying tax is more empowering and valuable than raising the next generation. Women have lost touch with our natural loving instincts, and birth rates are plummeting. Men and women are not the same. And by protesting for equality of outcome rather than opportunity, feminists are demonizing and emasculating men.
Did you believe that you were targeted deliberately, that people knew who you were, knew that you were landing on that flight, and deliberately targeted you?
I believe so, yes. I wholeheartedly believe that. It was the whole going through, doing the transfer, how I was singled out to come over when there's a flood of people walking through, not being scanned, things not getting searched. There was a tip, I don't know, something, they knew I was coming.
This is Brittany Griner, supposedly a woman. A lot of people think it's a man, but yeah, you make your own decision on that. Once again, taking no accountability, no responsibility for what she done. By the way, she admitted to the crime. How are you gonna sit there and say you got set up when you know you did the crime? That doesn't make any sense.
Interesting. What do you think about this?
So that's an interesting statistic that you were saying, that conservative families have less depressed kids. Is that what you're saying?
Boys from liberal families have higher anxiety rates than girls from conservative families.
But above, like, if you just looked at the norm, more girls generally have anxiety.
Right.
Yeah.
But in conservative families, girls are less anxious than boys from liberal families.
That's right. I mean, we could speculate as to why. There are lots of proposed reasons for that. One of the things might be that, aside from the fact that parents in conservative families may be more comfortable asserting their authority with kids.
That's true.
That's an old finding. We've known for generations now that authoritative parenting meaning not cold parenting, not cruel, not unloving.
Rules.
But rules. Those kids have better mental health. They're happier and they're more successful in all kinds of ways.
YBG Don from DC.
What's your name?
YBG Don.
I'm not calling you YBG. What the f is your name?
It stands for something, young, black, and gifted. YBG Don, that's what I stand for, Queen. You don't like that?
I'm not calling you, hey,
Well, you
YBG, where you at? I'm not doing that. What's your name?
This call me Don, but YBG is what I stand for, young, black, and gifted.
I call you Don.
All right, cool, that's cool.
You said Don?
Yeah, Don, D-O-N.
All right, Don.
Care about math right
Okay, now please tell us what a man who's the #1 draft pick gets paid.
The #1 draft pick in the NBA.
Yes.
A #1 draft pick, first year, 10 million. 10 million, 76,000.
Yeah, that.
By the way, this is like picking at an old scab for many women.
What's happening? What's happening with
right
you?
here?
What's happening?
Sitting for many years next to co-anchors over the years and not knowing what anyone got paid, and then discovering that like you were making like a tiny fraction of what the guy was making next to you.
Everybody knows the truth right now. Everybody. Okay, I've said this a million times. It's all over the internet. The WNBA does not make that much money. All the females who complain about it don't watch it. But I just want to know, why do they keep pushing this agenda? Like, they obviously know as well, the money just isn't there. It's like a terrible car salesman complaining, but he doesn't sell shit. But he says he wants the same money as the #1 salesman at the company. It's not going to happen, is it?
Get the fuck out of here.
Your house is on fire, and you're going to save 2 things.
Okay.
Your wife, your mother-in-law, your dog, or $20 million.
Oh, so I will save 20 million. So the 20 million is my own.
Yes.
It's in the house and it's mine.
Yes.
So what am I doing in the house now if there's 20 million there?
That's not the question.
Dog and $20 million.
No husband? No. Or mother-in-law?
No.
Why?
I don't need a man.
Girl.
Yes, ma'am.
So, assuming that I'm in the house and there's 20 million.
The question is,
is it mine or is it my wife's or my mom? Who does it belong to?
yours. $20 million is in your house.
It's in my house, okay.
So $20 million, and what is your second option?
So I will take the 20 million and then the $700 under my bed. So I'll take the 20 and my 700 because I can't leave the 700 to burn now.
What about your wife, your dog, or your mother-in-law?
My wife? With 20 million, you can have a wife in every jurisdiction.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, I am the problem. I went on a date with this guy and he was like, it's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place? And I was like, sure, but I'm not going to sleep with you. Like, that's not happening. And he was like, that's totally fine. Just come over. And I was like, cool. So I go to his place. He respects my wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like, are you gay? Like, what? And like, I just wanted him to like try, and then for me to be like, no, you know what I mean? I wasn't gonna sleep with him. Now I feel ugly. This is what.
What is wrong with her? Well, she's immature, insecure, quite entitled, got quite a few narcissistic traits in her that she just shown. So whoever this guy is, my advice is run if you haven't already, because all she wanted to do was try and get an ego boost. That was it. So she could tell him no and feel good about herself. That's just weird. This is the type of woman that makes up fake accusations against men.